Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to Sports Talk 920. I am your host, Michael Goodman. No Rudy this weekend. We tried so hard to get Rudy back on the program this week. Stuff going on, more on my end this week, so unfortunately unable to do so. But again, it's Sunday, it's game day. We have the race going on. Jimmie Johnson leading with under 30 laps to go in the Bank of America 400 or 500 at Charlotte. So that's underway now. We have the 1 o'clock games kind of wrapping up as we speak. Right now, wife and I we're in two separate cars heading to Lambeau Field for tonight's matchup for the New York Giants versus the Green Bay Packers. Just to kind of give you some updates on what's going on in the NFL today. Some crazy games. So far, one game I know off the top of my head, we do have the New England Patriots taking care of the Cleveland Browns 30-13. Kind of expected that to happen, and we'll see what happens there. But I started Isaiah Crowell in my fantasy league. A little upset about that. I put him as a flex guy this week. Knew they were going to be in a tough situation. Knew they were probably going to get down a little earlier. See about that. Anyway, I'm trying to tell my wife to go. She's at that weird pace right now where I'm driving side by side with her. So if I sound distracted, it is because I'm driving. It's because my wife is driving slow right now. But anyway, so you know the Browns were going to be down, passing situation for them. But Brady looked good in the first half of what I've seen, kind of as expected. I know a lot of people thought maybe there'd be a lull or a hiccup or maybe just a little bit of a dry spell for him. But when you're playing a team like the Cleveland Browns, a team that is not that good. I think they're a well-coached team. I don't want to knock Hugh Jackson. I think he's done a pretty good job for what they're doing there. But it's still, the fact of the matter is, as far as their talent-wise is concerned, really not expecting too much for the Cleveland Browns. So for them to be ahead in this game is. For the Browns to be down in this game, not too surprising. The Steelers 24-13. Thought they would be able to take care of the Jets a little bit better than they had been. It was kind of a back and forth battle for a while, but so far the Big Ben and the Steelers still getting that done there. I wanted to see what the Giants. Oh boy, Giants-Eagles score is. 23-21. So now the Eagles are coming back, taking care of business there. So there's that. But for a while, the Lions were really taking care of business as far as that was concerned. I think it was 21-7 at one point of the game. So other games going on. The Colts still leading. The Bears are leading. Oh, I missed that. Bears are leading the Colts, and then the Vikings taking care of business, walloping the Houston Texans, which, the Texans were 3-1 going into this game. Really, especially after the loss of J.J. Watt, basically whoever's going to win the AFC South is going to be a pretty pitiful team, and it's going to be pretty ugly. But anyway, looking forward to going to the Packer game tonight, so we talk more about that. Odell Beckham Jr. was basically in the headlines for all week. Basically New York big market team gets a lot of the attention, and to me this story seemed to be quite a bit blown up, probably more than it should have been. And a lot of it, yes, his crybaby-ness that he brings it upon himself in these situations that he gets in, which yeah, okay, is true. But I mean, watching that Vikings game on Monday, I think a lot of it was warranted. I mean, guys were hitting him late out of bounds. Guys were kind of cocking off to him and stuff like that. And You know, he's gonna shout back. And you know, the past 2 weeks he played Josh Norman, who, you know, again we go back to the matchup last year, and kind of when we found out that he was a kind of a hot-headed or maybe a mentally weak player. I think we've talked about on the show before about Odell Beckham and kind of his character on the field, at least, that he can be manipulated pretty easily. So it's not too big of a surprise. Plus the Vikings defense, I mean, you know, I'm not going to anoint them the Chicago Bears defense of 1985, but they could be good enough to make a deep run in the playoffs as of right now. But it's still early yet, you know, even though they're looking good again today. But the Houston Texans offense, I mean, Brock Osweiler's decent, but I don't know if he's a world beater by any means either. Plus, you're in the AFC South, and it's not that hard to even get off to a 3-1 start if you have even just a scotch of talent in that league. But anyway, so, you know, Odell Beckham Jr., you know, kind of, you know, lackluster these past 2 games, and really, for one, if there was a cause, if he was just playing that terribly, yeah, you know, it's going to be set up for a pretty good big game tonight for Odell Beckham Jr. And even besides that, I think he's going to have a big game anyway. And it's one of those things. The Packers, you know, it's so funny thinking the Packers secondary. Looking at the defense going into preseason, that was their strength. I don't know why that went off, but that was their strength. Was the secondary of this defense. You know, you have Rollins and Randall, 2 promising rookies last year, playing pretty well. You know, at the tail end of last year, you did get rid of Casey Hayward, who was a little underwhelming kind of since his rookie year. And he basically only could play the slot receiver. He couldn't really line up outside and play man-to-man with anybody. Didn't have quite the speed, or I don't know what it was. But anyway, going, you know, fast forward to now, this defense, the front line, which was so thin, you know, with injuries, suspension, stuff like that, and you had middle linebackers, you know, Blake Martinez and Jake Ryan, these 2 very inexperienced players, and here they are. They're the lifeblood of that defense. They can stop the run pretty well, but the passing game has been eating them up quite a bit. And Randall, I think, is probably the really big disappointment so far in 2016. And you know, he did have the bye week to kind of learn from his mistakes. We'll see if that helps. Sam Shields is going to be out again tonight, so it could be even if Randall improved, I don't know if he's really ready to take on a guy like Odell Beckham Jr. And I don't know if he can get in the head of Odell. Giants run game, little off the mark so far this year, especially with Shane Vereen getting hurt. And I think you're kind of playing a very similar style defense in the New York